Independence Day, 4th of July. It was actually a couple of days ago now, but as you know, we have bought a little 1970s-ish trailer that's really tiny on the lake on a rented lot. It's not a lot to look at, but my goodness, it's fun. And you know, you really don't need as much as you think you need when it comes down to where the rubber meets the road. So let me tell you though, I have been using the holiday weekend as kind of a help for my situation because we have a couple of old kayaks, and I have been using kayaking as physical therapy to help build the muscles back up. Now, I'm not real good at it right now, and I can only last probably about 30 minutes at a time, because before, when I used to kayak on the creeks around where we used to live, I could go all day long on day trips and, you know, nothing be wrong. I mean, I could really just go. But right now, I'm still building up the muscles, and I'm using the kayaking on the lake not only as relaxation and unwinding time while Tony fishes, or, you know, or we take some food to cook and enjoy the time together, but I use it as physical therapy. Now, of course, I'm back home today, and I made a couple of things to take with me back to the lake today, and took care of the animals, come to the garden and got everything picked, which that's one thing I wanted to talk about. The tomatoes are gone. The peaches are gone. You cannot have that much rain in such a short amount of time and your vegetable garden really make it, unless you're in the greenhouse. Now, that is going to be nice to be able to control the environment in there and control how much water or how little water that the plants get, control temperature, control pest, soil erosion, etc. So after I get the inspection done and get the soil amended in there and covered up, get that drip irrigation down, I will be back in business, and I will go ahead and plant some more tomatoes to go ahead and, you know, get some canned for the winter time. Here's another thing that I wanted to talk about. Type of tomato. I found that disease and fungus pressure was horrible during the wet weather on Better Boys. The tomatoes that fared the best were the prettiest, biggest green tomato, the juiciest, tastiest tomato, and the ones who survived everything was those red snappers. I absolutely love the red snapper tomato, and I am leaning towards that's what I'm going to be planting from now on. Now, I've got to look into an indeterminate tomato that I can use for vertical growing and, you know, increase crops off of that. But for right now, I'm telling you that red snapper tomato happens to be my all-time favorite tomato ever. I'm looking right now at the apple trees because I'm just trying to check the garden and make sure that everything is okay. This is one of my apple trees here, and you can see that limb may not make it. It is absolutely, totally, oh, that one's bad. It's got a bad spot. Probably all the rain. But look how huge that apple is right there. Those red delicious apples are just beautiful, beautiful. I do need to espalier better on this tree to protect the limbs, because I noticed that over there on the Yellow Delicious apples, the limb has fallen off. Y'all see how bad those tomatoes, how bad those tomato vines look? They are just horrible. Now that one right there is just coming on back out again. And it might, but these Better Boys, every one of them look like this. Y'all, my cayenne pepper is starting to put on too. Look at that. The cayenne pepper just don't care. It loves whatever. But here, I also got a green hornworm that wreaked havoc the past couple of days. But these are the red snappers, and they're not quite as bad. However, I did not pick that tomato because it's really split and soft. And you can see that I left very few out here because, I mean, it's pretty much gone. I also had to pick the peaches off the tree because apparently while I was gone yesterday, all of those are rotten. Every one of those peaches are rotten, y'all. Way too much rain, and when they're ripe, they're ripe. What can I say? They don't take holidays. Unfortunately, I did, and come back and all the peaches are on the ground. Now, I did come back and pick the garden yesterday, but kind of too little too late. I have not cut the okra yet, and it's just full and hard. But as you can see, and let me turn the camera, these are the peppers. These are also a Hoss. These are the yellow banana peppers, and I can't remember what they're called. They are called Gold Rush banana pepper from Hoss. They are delicious. I have had a couple of these already. Over here next to them is the Hossinator jalapeno, and you can see these suckers are huge. They're going to be going into some salsa. And over here is the Hossinator bell peppers. And you can see that they are doing very, very well also. The blueberries, I have been picking those and putting those in the freezer. It's got a few more on here today that is ready, but I can wait till tomorrow. Oh, sorry, those are good. So, figs, show you the figs. Loaded. Figs are loaded and growing so tall. Look at this fig tree. It's just growing along the ground. It's short, but loaded. So hopefully I'll be able to make some fig preserves. And you know, with me having the accident and I was kind of out of commission for a while, the garden did suffer because, of course, it had all that rain, but I wasn't able to get out here and do much, and Tony works full time, and so it just is what it is this year. Now, back there, that is what it is too. The optimism part of that is we are going to have plenty of vegetables this year, because my second crop, my second planting this year is going to be in that big greenhouse. And by the winter time, I'm going to have more vegetables than I know what to do with, because I can control that environment. Now, I didn't show you, but I have an overabundance of cucumbers, and they are really beautiful cucumbers. So I do have those in the kitchen, and I will be making pickles. But today, going back to the lake, I made some potato salad, but I also made some German cucumber salad, some gherkin salad. And it is the most delicious cold side dish that you could, I mean, creamy, delicious cucumber salad. And I got the recipe years ago in Germany, actually. And it's one of those dishes, when I make it, that all the kids come running. But I'm excited. I'm about to pack everything up, and I've got the tomatoes off the vine in the house. They'll be fine until tomorrow. I will start trying to put some of those in jars. And I did get some of them in jars this morning, to be honest, because they couldn't wait till tomorrow. But the ones that are still ripening, they'll be good for tomorrow. I'm going to make one last round at the animals. They got their delicious breakfast this morning, and wash down. I like to squirt them with the hose, and they enjoy that. But I'm going to make one final check on them. I'm going to pack up my side dishes that I made, get some stuff to cook on the grill at the lake, go put that kayak in the water, and do a little bit of physical therapy. So hopefully I can get a little footage of that. But right now, whew, I got water running down my face. I need to go and take a second shower. Actually, I've already had 2 showers today, and it is 11 o'clock a.m. So I may need a third one. But that is the update on the pretty much non-existent garden until I can get stuff going in the greenhouse. What's your thoughts? What do you think is the first thing I need to plant in there? I think some more red snapper tomatoes, because I'm going to tell you, I did not get near enough tomatoes this year from that garden, because once it started raining and it flooded every day, tomatoes just can't survive in that. It's just horrible. And in the greenhouse, you know, I'll have the shade cloth. I can control the temperature. I can run fans on it and keep them dry. I can control the pest. I can control the soil, the fertilizer, what goes in it. I'm really excited about that. But anyway, y'all come on, let's go to the lake. Okay, y'all, here at the fish camp, I was able to get a little bit of kayaking in, and as you can see from this footage, I came up on a little raccoon trying to grab some crawfish from the bank. He came out several times, and I was just lucky enough to get close to it. Every time I tried to pick up my phone to video, I didn't have this camera with me because, of course, I didn't want it to get ruined in the lake. But every time I tried to pick up my phone to video something or get a picture of something, it didn't go so well, because you have to maneuver that kayak in different positions. But right now, we've got the boat in the water, and we're about to go out for a few minutes in the boat and see what it's like out there in the big water. And I'll try to get a little bit of footage, and hopefully Tony will take a fishing pole and maybe he can catch a fish and we can see that. All right, well, here we go. We are headed down the lake, and there's Mr. Green behind me. He is driving the boat. So hopefully we'll get to see a little bit of wildlife. I hope. Hope my hat don't fly off. So let's get on down the lake and see if we can spot something, because oh, I see a duck. I see someone's duck. Y'all, I'm sweating already. we're going back in. That is our place right there. And we're going back in. It's super shallow through here, so we have to be very careful and go very slow, because our place is really up in the creek. It's called Bully Creek. So the neighborhood next door is called Bully Creek Farms, and then there's like a little strip of woods between it, and then our little camp area here is Bully Creek Estates, I think is what it's called. But y'all, this is a 1970s-ish, maybe older than that, model trailer. But it's got this really cool screened-in porch here. So that you can see the water on all three sides. Pretty little rose bush right there that I need to trim. But let's go in and take a look, because y'all will see. So we have totally redone everything in here. The floors, we had to put new floors down because Tony fell through. And we bought these two little couches off of Amazon. Couple of $100 each. I put them together real easy, 5 minutes, and they were together. And this is the end table and lamp Tony bought from the thrift store. Tony's maps of the management area on the wall. And in here, we just kind of went with the flow on the kitchen area. But I'm in the process of painting everything. I'm going to leave the cabinets with no doors on them, but all this right here, we've gotten cleaned up. Little dining room table in here. All right, let's go down. Let's go down the hallway. There's a guest bedroom in here. Very tiny bedroom, but a full-size bed fits right in there. And in here, a laundry room where you can wash wet swimwear, whatever. Matter of fact, I've got some in there now, washing. And the next place is the bathroom. You can tell Tony has been in here already. And in here is the, I guess you would call this the master bedroom. Anyway, you can tell Tony stayed here last night by himself because nothing's really made up really good. But, oh well. So like I said, not a lot to it. But we can come and stay, enjoy the lake, cook into the kitchen there. It's air conditioned, so it's a place that we can rest when we get here. We can sit on the porch and drink coffee and look at the water. It's just really quiet and serene here. I can get on the kayak and go out. We can get on the boat and go fishing. Just a really cool little getaway for weekends. Just all excited about the fish camp. But that kind of gives you a little insight into it. It's nothing fancy, I promise you that. And I told the kids when they come here, don't worry about anything. There's nothing you can mess up. It's a place where you can relax, play, have fun, not worrying about messing anything up, because it's a lake house. It's a fish camp. It's meant to relax and enjoy yourself and do a little water sports, a little kayaking, a little boating, look at some wildlife, go fishing, cook out on the grill, and just basically enjoy yourself. And I hope you guys have enjoyed the tour. I personally got to get back home and get some chores done on the farm and possibly stop by Tractor Supply on the way back there. Back home on the farm because work goes on. When I can get a chance to get away and have a little relaxation time, it's great. But it's hard to kind of get away off the farm for any length of time unless you've got someone that is consistently helping you feed. But, you know, it's kind of like with, even with Cog Hill, you have to schedule your time away from the farm. So I had to come home and still lock everybody up that night, and of course do the major feeding in the mornings the next morning. And we were supposed to go back to the lake, but you see, I haven't made it yet because there's just too much work. When I got home, there were tomatoes that needed canning, the garden needed picking. Then I needed to swap some poultry over because the guineas are getting a little bit big, and I'll have to show you those. But also, Helen has been doing so much better, y'all, because as you know, honestly, I thought it was a toxic weed, and so I kind of killed all the toxic weeds out of the pasture. And she kind of kept, her appetite kept decreasing. She did not have as much muscle mass as she had, but her tummy was a little bit big, so I didn't have her stool sample tested, but I went ahead and started deworming regimen on Helen. And because I did that, you can hear her suckling on my fingers right here because she's hungry now. And now she is gaining weight back. She's gaining muscle mass back. She eats everything in sight, and I'm just so excited. So let's visit for a second with Helen. Hey, Helen. Hey, sweet girl. Yeah. Here's your sweetheart. Here's your sweetheart. Her gives hand suckling and kisses, just rough kisses. Oh, here's that sweet girl. Hey, Otis, what are you doing out here? Don't peck on me. Where are you going, Helen? I guess she's leaving. She said, bye, Mama, I'm going to the barn. Y'all, while I was messing with Otis, she left me. Helen, why did you leave me? I'm not feeding you again, Helen. I'm not feeding you again. She thinks we're going to the barn to eat. Oh, Lord, look at her go. Oh, she's a mess. And y'all, these big boys over here, they think every time I come in here, they gotta eat. They think every time I come in here, they gotta eat something. You sweet, sweet boy. Mama gotta fix stuff, don't she? Mama stayed home from the lake to fix stuff, yeah. Mama stayed home from the lake. Mama stayed home from the lake to get stuff fixed for you. Yeah. Sweet boy. Yeah. Well, don't be slinging your head because you're hitting me with your horns now. Yeah. There's a good girl. Oh, she loves me. And the other jokers at the barn are those guineas over there. Those guineas are so noisy, even as little bitty guineas. They're noisy. Buddy. Those little guineas went back in the pen that I took them out of, but I got them away from the peacock, the peahen, and I put some little turkeys in there. These guineas will eventually figure out that they can get out of the chicken run and kind of go out and eat bugs and ticks and look for snakes and stuff. But I wanted them to get used to this pen that they can get out of easily, so that they would know where to come back to roost at night. So they'll stay in here a couple of days, then they can figure out that they can fly over the half door like the chickens do. And I'm sure they'll learn from the chickens. But then they can go out and still have a place to come to at night. That'll keep the predators. Ow! In case y'all are wondering, Clover is over here picking on me. Hey, Clover! Hey, Clover. Okay, I'm not petting. You stand up, stand up, stand up. I guess I am petting you, huh? I guess I am. Can't go anywhere in the pasture without one of the two emus pecking me. But you know what? I wouldn't trade it for anything in the world, y'all. This is the life. Y'all, I like it to go to the lake and enjoy myself and go out on the boat and go fishing and have a good time. But I love it when I come home, because to me, every day is like vacation here. I mean, where else can you go that, people pay to go to farms to pet farm animals. I get to do it for free. Y'all farm on.